Hello guys, and welcome back to Shaun's Japanese course, and in this video we're going to talk about the voiced sound marker and the half-voiced sound marker, or Dakuten and the Handakuten. So in the previous video we talked about hiragana and katakana, and we mentioned, all of these basic sounds, but we noticed that even though, word hiragana in and of itself has this g sound, there was no g sound to be seen here. And that's actually where this Dakuten and Handakuten come in. Now, you see, Dakuten and Handakuten are essentially like umlaute in German. Those little dots on top of certain characters that change their pronunciation? Well, Dakuten and Handakuten are exactly like that. The only difference is that umlaute change the pronunciation of vowels, whilst Dakuten and Handakuten change the pronunciation of the consonants. So, how that actually looks in example is that this Dakuten, marked by these little, quotation mark kind of looking, symbols, changes k sounds into g, s sounds into z, t sounds into d, and of course, last but not least, h sounds into b. Handakuten, on the other hand, the half-voice sound marker, marked by this little circle on top of the characters, changes h sounds only, and it changes them from h to p, because p is apparently halfway between h and b, or so we have been told. Now, how that actually looks in, practice, is that this kakikuke ko becomes gagiguge go, sashisuse so becomes zajizuze zo, tachitsute to becomes dajizude do, and yes, those characters are the same. And last but not least, hahifuhe ho becomes babibubebo. Now, as I mentioned, these two pairs of characters are, pronounced the same way. However, there will be times when you will see this tsu-based zu romanized like this zu. Now, the reason behind that is that even though when we pronounce it in a certain word like tsuzuku, it makes this clean z sound, when it's on its own, right, or when it's in the beginning of a sentence of a word like zura janai katsurada, zura, right? There is a little dirtiness, right? Zura, right? It's not a clean z. Zura janai katsurada. Now, the reason behind that is not some mysterious z sound, it's just that the character you're actually voicing is this tsu, right? So, the thing to get out of this is that, Roman characters are just not perfect at reproducing these sounds, right? And as a result, you should really just, as I've said in the previous video, learn the hiragana sounds first, and then you're just gonna be able to voice these sounds properly anyway, right? Just forget about Roman characters altogether. Now, in katakana, even though the characters look different, the sounds that they present are exactly the same. Handakuten, on the other hand, changes h sounds, as I've said, into p sounds. So, hahi hu he ho becomes papi pu pe po. And of course, in katakana, it's exactly the same. So yeah, that's basically it for both the Dakuten and Handakuten. However, there are still other sounds in the Japanese language that we have not covered yet, and those are going to be the topic of the next video, and I hope I'll see you in that one.